It's time for Wrestling for the Culture, where we take a look inside to see what the wrestlers of color have been doing this week.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's Wrestling for the Culture. I'm your host, Brian H. Waters. This show, of course, is brought to you by the Wrestling Wrealm, brought to you by me and the real Dwayne Allen. You know, this is our show, our brand. Make sure you're subscribed onto YouTube. Make sure you are following us on Twitter and Instagram at Wrestling Wrealm. Like us on Facebook at The Wrestling Wrealm. And we are available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Podbean, Pocket Cast, Radio FM, and Anchor. And guess what? If you're on Anchor, you want to make a donation to the show, feel free to do so. So, this week, huge week, actually, not really in the WWE, but we're going to start right there. Starting off with Bobby Lashley. So, he would come out with his newly won Intercontinental Championship to, kind of gloat, show off, and Leo Rush, his manager, said, guess what? He's not doing an open challenge. Instead, he's going to do a pose down. Well, he had a pose down, and Apollo Crews wanted to pose down with him, and then the two had a match, and Bobby Lashley was successful. The culture wins either way, no doubt about it. Let's move on. Sasha Banks and Bayley would team up to go against Ronda Rousey and Natalya ahead of their match at the Royal Rumble. And it was Sasha Banks forcing Natalya to tap out. And guess what, folks? If you are keeping tab, that meant that is the first time Ronda Rousey suffered a loss of any type in a WWE ring. Sasha Banks is proving why she is the boss. And then congratulations to Ricochet as he became as he won the Breakout Star of the Year for NXT. We know he was North American Champion. Shout out to Ricochet. This guy is money. Take away the size if you're one of those people, and I think this guy can be a WWE Champion someday. So, let's move on. We have new tag team champions. The Syndicate, Elijah Evans and TJ Boss, defeating Georgia Heat to become the new GPW tag team champions. The Syndicate is dominating all over, and I just want to know when they're going to put my boy, the Mac, on. Let's move on to Ring of Honor as Jay Lethal defeated Vinny I didn't hear this, I might pronounce his name wrong, but Vinny Marseglia. So Jay Lethal holding on to his title. And then we saw MVP and Kenny King defeat Colt Cabana and Willie Mack. So these two doing their thing, putting on for the culture. Let's move on over to Impact as the Rascals would defeat Rohit Raju, or you want to call him Hakeem Zayn and Raj Singh. Devin Xavier, man, I keep telling people this guy is the absolute truth. Make sure if you're not watching Impact, which you can find on Twitch now, make sure you're checking him out. He's been one of my favorites since I've seen him at MCW Pro Wrestling. Back when it was called Maryland Championship Wrestling. Back in 2013. Always loved how this guy's approach and how his desire to learn and get better. Speaking of another guy who, wrestled in the Maryland area, from Baltimore, Maryland, where I'm from, that is Rich Swann. Swann was victorious this past week on Impact Wrestling over El Hijo del Vikingo. And then he was confronted by Sami Callihan, who wanted him to join OVE. And Callihan would continue to say things like, nobody else was there for you, but I was there. And now you got to take care of your wife, and you don't have anybody you can depend on. You need to be with me. So this looks like he got really personal, but Rich Swann refused to put on the shirt and join OVE. So let's move on to and gold presented by the Black Wrestling Alliance. Shout out to my boy A Dazzle, just had a birthday. Make sure you check out the interview that I did with him right here on the Wrestling Realm channels. I talked to him how he started the page, Instagram/Black Wrestling Alliance. So make sure you check that out. And so here's this week's new gold. We're going to start with MCW Pro Wrestling, where Elijah King became the new Rage TV champion. Gia Scott regained her MCW Women's Championship. And the Sons of Savagery, they retain their tag titles. MCW, all the titles are held by people of color except the big belt, and I wonder who's going to get that. Reminds me of a few years ago when my crew, the homies at the Black Wall Street, when Amber was the champion, when Drolix was the champion, Chuck Lennox was the Rage champion. I can't remember, and Dr. D would correct me, that I believe Solo and Napalm were tag team champions. Let's move on. 1%, Jarrell Nelson and Roy Isaacs claim to be the best tag team of the West Coast, and they now are the Defy Tag Team Championships. They're also the future stars of wrestling and Best of the West Tag Team Champions. Jacoby Boykins is the new AIWF East Coast Champion. This is his second championship in a matter of months, as he's also won the APW Tag Team Championship right before Christmas. The Phoenix Kid is the new CPW Northwest Cruiserweight Champion. Desiree is the new Shockwave Wrestling Women's Champion. Kenny Bangle is the new UPWA North Carolina Champion. And then we'll round it out with Lucian Bright continuing to breed championship clients as his tag team, as the Bad Boys are the new WWZ Tag Team Champions. So that is brought to you by the Black Wrestling Alliance over there on Instagram at Black Wrestling Alliance, folks. Make sure you are checking them out. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this week's Wrestling for the Culture. I'm your host, Brian H. Waters. Make sure you are subscribed to the Wrestling Realm. Make sure you are tuned in each and every week. And if you're on YouTube and you like what you see, subscribe down low. Till the next time, folks, so long, everybody.